All right, so let's talk setting healthy communication boundaries. Well, we need to manage digital distractions. And as you know, our devices are engineered to be really good at grabbing and keeping our attention. And it's taking away our attention from other things that sometimes we should be prioritizing, like maybe watching our kids on the playground or completing a work deadline or driving, as we talked about previously. So, distraction really can come at a range of costs. We talked about increased error rates, impaired safety, and it can negatively affect our studies, our creativity, and sometimes can cause communication problems and increase stress levels. So, that's why we need to create digital boundaries. And so, of course, at the very least, we can mute or block notifications. I've never been a fan of using an app to beat an app, but sometimes app blockers are needed. So, Forest, Serene, Freedom are all really great app blockers that can help create better focus. Airplane mode, again, is always your best friend for silencing notifications and holding notifications. But removing your phone from view when studying is something we talked about in the last video. And again, manipulating our surroundings is a really highly effective form of self-control. So, there are some more things that we can do to set boundaries with the work that we are doing. Probably not right now. In most of your jobs or with school, you're not really receiving tons and tons of emails, but some of you will have jobs where when you get out there to the workplace, they will be coming in droves. And batching emails is a great way to set a healthy communication boundary. Batching emails just means that we don't keep our inbox open all day long. We answer our emails and respond to them when we pick a time to go in to do that. So when we have time in our schedule. So for instance, batching emails, we might do a batch at 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 3 o'clock p.m. And not keep our inbox open the rest of the time. The next thing we can do, again, when we are working with others, and this can be for school or for work, is to create a team communication charter. And really all that is, it doesn't have to be like a formal written thing. It could just be a conversation, but really just talking about, when it's going to be acceptable to send messages and when you're going to like what your response time expectations are going to be for members in your group, and what is considered an emergency after hours where it might be okay to send messages at that time. So again, maybe not so much at the stage you're in right now, but when you move into the world of work, and we know that this is one of the biggest issues out there, is that people feel pressure to respond to work emails 24/7. So creating communication charters really helps to define the boundaries and the expectations and the norms surrounding digital communication. And then, of course, you can also utilize automatic replies and signatures. Again, this is in the world of work where if you are going to take an afternoon to spend, in deep work mode and you don't want to have notifications, instead of just kind of ghosting people and making them second guess whether or not you're even there, sometimes it's better just to create an automatic email reply. They're not just for holidays, by the way, not just for holidays, but to set an automatic email reply to let people know that you are working and that they can expect a response, for instance, after 4 o'clock or the next working day. Signature lines are also becoming more popular in terms of outlining when people can expect a response. So you can put right in your signature line when people can expect a response from you. And that is just really great communication best practices. Well, not all of our distractions actually come from digital devices. Studies show that clutter is actually a predictor of emotional exhaustion and stress. And clutter, just like the visual there on the left, that type of setting where there is a lot of clutter, it contributes to decreased job satisfaction, it increases burnout rates, it increases distraction, and decreases creativity. So the picture on the right is a much more conducive workspace for getting things done. And so let's talk organization and how to optimize our physical environments. Um, what does your workspace look like right now? In order to work effectively, we do have to set the tone for productivity, and clutter is a huge form of distraction. A calmer, more serene space helps us to stay focused. You may be familiar with the Netflix show Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. What you may not be familiar with is that she wrote a book called Joy at Work, Organizing Your Professional Life. And in it, she highlights how workspaces that are cluttered and messy and chaotic are found to release cortisol in the body, which of course is the stress hormone. And studies show that clutter is a distraction and it is a form of stress. And this is why some people have a hard time working or studying from home, because they're distracted by the things that they see around us. When you're walking to the bathroom and you pass the laundry or the dishes or, noisy roommates or whatever the case is. But on the contrary, when we feel that we have control over our environment, it influences how we behave and it improves our mood and our levels of productivity. And clutter comes in two forms. It comes in physical and it comes in digital. And our digital space is equally as important when it comes to focusing and being able to work productively. So, digital hoarding is the accumulation of files to the point that eventually it results in stress and disorganization and begins to impact our functioning. So if this is your home screen, if your home screen looks like the one here on the left, you might want to consider a digital declutter. And that is where we keep only the important widgets or apps that you need to work on, and remove the rest. And a process also includes deleting the ones that you don't use. So really making sure that you have a good file management system. And the same works for your home screen on your cell phone. So just by removing our apps that cause a lot of distraction and really just keeping the minimum amount of ones on the phone, just like the picture here again, it just is a calmer, more serene space. You will not see the notifications unless you swipe. So it's just a really effective way of staying organized and staying focused. And this whole concept of digital decluttering, it can be a real game changer for people. We spend up to 20% of our time per day searching for lost files and not necessarily for school, but in the workforce. So really important to have a good filing method, and that will keep you organized and on track.